Hey everyone, and welcome back. I am just absolutely thrilled to have you here today for this brand new explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly beautiful classic fable titled The Tiny Turtle Who Refused to Give Up. Now, on the surface, sure, it kind of looks like a charming little story about forest animals. But as we go through this today, you're going to see that it's actually this profound, brilliant blueprint for resilience, consistency, and having a growth mindset. Whether you're tackling some huge personal goal or honestly just trying to get a little bit better at your everyday tasks, the lessons buried in this material are absolutely incredible. Okay, let's dive into this. And to kick things off, I've got a question for you. Does success always belong to the fastest? I mean, in our modern world, we are obsessed with speed, right? We want overnight success, instant results, quick fixes. We just naturally assume that the people who are the fastest or the naturally gifted or the strongest are literally destined to win. But is that actually true? Keep that question in the back of your mind as we unpack this story. Section 1. Meet Toby the Turtle, the struggle of being small. Our source material introduces us to our protagonist living in the super vibrant and lively Green Valley Forest. It's a place where birds sing and flowers dance. But for Toby, well, life isn't exactly a walk in the park. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what Toby is up against. You see, Toby was really small, even for a turtle. His shell was a little cracked, his legs were super short, and he walked so much slower than everyone else. Whenever the young animals played races, Toby always finished dead last. Meanwhile, the other animals were fast, they were confident, the rabbits laughed at him, the monkeys giggled, even the birds whispered that poor Toby would just never be fast enough. It's basically your classic mismatch of natural ability. Now, I want to slow down for just a second here because the psychological toll of this is very real. At first, the story notes that Toby just smiled and tried to shrug it off. But day after day, hearing those same discouraging words, it starts to really hurt his heart. One evening, the story describes him sitting beside the sparkling lake. He looks down at his reflection in the water, and he just sighs. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'll never become anything special. It's that exact moment of pure self-doubt that we have all felt when we compare ourselves to people who just seem naturally better than us. Section 2. The Wisdom of Oliver. A Change in Perspective. Right when Toby is hitting rock bottom by that lake, help arrives in the form of an old, wise owl named Oliver who lands in a nearby tree. Now, Oliver wasn't just some random passerby. He had actually been watching the little turtle for many years and definitely noticed his growing sadness. Oliver gently asks Toby why he looks so down, and Toby just pours his heart out. He confesses his absolute deepest insecurity, telling the owl, "Everyone is faster than me. Everyone is stronger than me. I really don't think I can ever win at anything." So, the crucial point is this magnificent piece of advice from Oliver. Winning isn't about being the fastest, it's about refusing to stop. I really want you to absorb that. Oliver completely redefines what winning means. He takes the focus entirely away from speed, which, let's be honest, Toby cannot control, and puts it entirely on persistence, which Toby has absolute control over. The text notes that Toby didn't fully grasp this right away, but it planted a massive seed in his mind. Section 3. The Daily Grind, Building Strength Step by Step. The very next morning, Toby makes a totally radical decision. He stops trying to play the other animals' game. He stops joining the races he knows he's going to lose, and he fully commits to his own journey. He decides to just improve himself a little bit every single day through some very specific mechanics. Step 1. Climbing tiny hills. Step 2. Carrying small stones to make himself stronger. Step 3. Walking slightly longer distances each evening. This is so brilliant because it's totally actionable. Toby isn't trying to magically become a sprinter overnight. He's practicing incremental gains. He is strengthening his shell, his legs, and his endurance through highly targeted effort. Now, what's really interesting is the timeline of his commitment. This wasn't just a fun weekend project. He did this day after day, week after week, month after month. When he fell down, he simply stood right back up. This represents the immense power of consistent, unseen effort over a long period of time. This is exactly where real transformation happens. But, the real world doesn't just instantly reward you because you start working hard. The other animals continued to laugh. They'd say, "Look at Toby pretending to be a champion." They saw his slow, grueling workouts as a total joke. But Toby, he just smiled and he kept moving. He was entirely locked in on his own process, not their opinions. Section 4. The Great Storm, the Ultimate Test. One afternoon, the whole dynamic of the forest completely flips. dark clouds cover the sky, and a massive, dangerous weather event rolls in. The calm environment is instantly shattered. The rain just poured heavily. Strong, violent winds began to physically shake the trees of the Green Valley forest. And things escalate so rapidly. The peaceful river suddenly overflows its banks. The water levels rise at a terrifying pace, completely turning the familiar forest floor into a rushing, dangerous hazard. This right here is where the crisis hits its absolute peak. A bunch of vulnerable baby animals become trapped on small patches of land, which are now entirely surrounded by rushing, deep water. Total panic sweeps through the entire animal community. Look at how this emergency perfectly exposes the reality of their different skill sets. The fast animals, the ones who always won the races, they are completely panicked. The rabbits are too terrified to jump over the rushing water. The monkeys, usually so agile, literally cannot navigate the wet, slippery rocks. Even the strongest animals are paralyzed by fear and just don't know what to do. But Toby? Because he had spent months specifically practicing climbing and carrying heavy loads over uneven ground, he wasn't afraid at all. He looked around carefully and, step by step, very slowly, he began to cross those slippery rocks. He helped one baby squirrel climb onto his sturdy little shell, and he carried it safely across the rushing water. Then another, and another, again and again. For hours, Toby just kept rescuing these frightened little animals. He didn't stop until sunset, when every single baby animal was finally safe and sound. Section 5. The Power of Persistence. Earning respect and leaving a legacy. The storm finally passes, and the entire forest erupts in cheers. The dynamic has completely shifted now. The rabbit lowers his ears and apologizes. The monkey scratches his head and admits, "We thought being fast made someone important." The very animals who used to mock Toby now look at him with deep, profound respect. And watching all of this unfold is Oliver the owl. He smiles proudly at the scene and delivers this incredible observation. Real heroes aren't always the fastest. They're the ones who keep going when everyone else gives up. Toby didn't suddenly become a fast runner. He became a hero because of his endurance, his strength, and his unyielding persistence. So, what does this all mean for us? How does Toby's story actually apply to you and me? Let's distill the entire philosophy of the source text right here. First, never compare your beginning to someone's middle. Toby's weakness was literally just his starting line. Second, small, consistent efforts achieve extraordinary results. Climbing tiny hills and carrying small stones built the exact strength he needed to save lives. Third, success comes to those who refuse to give up. And finally, a quote Toby himself shared with others later in life. You don't have to be the biggest or the fastest, just become a little better than yesterday. Honestly, that is a mindset you can apply to your studies, your career, your health, literally anything. I want to leave you with this final, really powerful thought from the text. True success doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to those who keep moving forward, one small step at a time. Toby went on to become the most respected turtle in the entire Green Valley, leaving a legacy that proves determination will always, always outlast mere speed. So whatever challenge you are facing right now, don't worry about how fast you're going. Actually, scratch that. Don't even look at the clock. Just ask yourself, what is the one small step I can take today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep stepping forward, and I'll see you next time.